Winter, well, that's still sticking around. And this time of year, a lot of people admit that they get the winter blues. They begin to feel depressed and, they may seem to have a difficult time sort of shaking themselves out of this funk. Well, here with some advice on how to deal with the winter blues is Jill Blackson, Deputy Director of Community Care Services. Jill, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, what is what people describe as the winter blues?
Well, it's just feeling down. Like you might feel down at other times during the year, but the winter blues, it kind of is a little bit of a letdown maybe after the holidays, thinking about the upcoming year, and just kind of feeling maybe in a funk, and the weather does not help that either.
Now, when we say the winter blues, it sounds like, you just have the winter blues, but is this more serious than that?
Well, I think it can be. I think all of us, especially now when we're in this deep freeze, are, feeling a little bit trapped inside and might be feeling a little down. But it can lead to something else, especially if it lasts, longer than a few weeks and you can't seem to shake it off. Then it could be more than just something seasonal.
Okay, so first, what are some of the signs or symptoms that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, well, if you're starting to feel depressed, if you're starting to feel like you can't get out of bed more than just, oh, it's freezing and I don't want to get out of bed, it's that I just can't really get myself to do that, and you're losing interest in the things that you normally are interested in doing.
Now, if we either see that in ourselves, or we see that in someone we love, what are some of the steps we can take to maybe try to help shake ourselves or our loved ones out of that?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, just coming out and asking. We shouldn't be afraid to say, hey, are you feeling kind of down? Because I've noticed that you're not yourself today. So I think just asking someone if they're feeling depressed and sad and having that conversation is the first step. And then if you really notice that it's hanging on and it's persistent, saying to them, I really would like you to go see somebody, and I'll help you do that, and making that happen for them.
Now, when we talk about winter blues, is that the same as seasonal affective disorder?
Well, it can be. It can be. Some people really are affected by the lack of sunlight, and I know there's lamps and things like that that you can get to kind of get some of that natural light back into your life, even if you're getting it through some sort of lamp. Right. Some of us just kind of feel down because it's cold and it's dark, and getting a little bit of sunlight, whether you can get yourself outside when it warms up and get natural sunlight, or getting some sort of lamp.
And how much does, for instance, we were in the holidays, we were with our family, we're with our friends, there's going to be sort of a detachment from those folks as we all get back to our normal lives.
Right.
Are there some things that we can do to sort of maybe physically shake ourselves out of it? Does exercise work or something like that?
Yeah, exercise always helps year round, but I think even more now when you feel like not doing it is probably the time you should. Getting yourself to take a walk, if you can get outside when it warms up, getting on the treadmill, just releasing those natural endorphins and trying to find something that you enjoy doing to kind of help boost your mood is really helpful.
All right, and when we do, we try some of those things, hopefully they work and we can lift our spirits, especially, just think of it like this, folks, it's already January, spring.
Right.
Kind of arrives in March, so we're not too far away. But if we do need to see a professional for this, what are some of the things a professional will ask us?
Well, I think first of all, they'll ask, what are your symptoms? What are you experiencing? And looking at how long these symptoms have been with you, to kind of know this is more than just something seasonal that we know will shake off when the weather starts to get bad. So I think a professional is going to kind of help you decide if this is something that maybe you might need some medication for, a little bit of therapy for, or is this just something that, okay, you're feeling a little down and it should, ease off in a little bit.
Well, if someone does feel like they need to reach out, how can they get in touch with Community Care Services?
They can call us at 313-389-7500.
Jill Blackson, Deputy Director of Care Community Services, thank you so much for joining us.